There's a certain magic to Paris that no words can fully capture. It's a city of dreamers, artists, lovers, and centuries of history woven into every street corner. Paris is not just a place you visit, it's a place you feel. In this ultimate guide, we're taking you deep into the heart of Paris. From iconic landmarks that you've seen in postcards to hidden corners most tourists miss, this is your complete map to experiencing the City of Light like never before. So grab your favorite cup of coffee, settle in, and let's begin our journey through the 10 must-visit places in Paris. The Eiffel Tower, Paris's shining heart. No matter how many times you see it, the Eiffel Tower never loses its magic. Standing proudly at 330 meters tall, it was once considered a hideous monster by critics. But today, it's one of the most beloved landmarks on Earth. Gustave Eiffel's masterpiece was built in 1889 as a centerpiece for the World's Fair, meant to celebrate the centennial of the French Revolution. Believe it or not, it was only supposed to stand for 20 years. But the tower found a second life as a radio transmitter, and from then on, it became part of the Parisian skyline forever. Visiting the Eiffel Tower isn't just about reaching the top, it's about the whole experience. Start at the Champ de Mars, the vast green lawns that lead you right to its feet. Pause for a moment, smell the air, feel the energy. Whether it's your first glimpse or your 50th, it stirs something inside you. Take the elevator to the summit if you can. The panoramic views are breathtaking. You'll see all of Paris spread out like a living painting beneath you. At sunset, the city turns golden. At night, the tower comes alive, sparkling for 5 minutes every hour on the hour, a spectacle that never fails to draw cheers from the crowd. The Louvre, a treasure trove of humanity. Standing proudly along the banks of the Seine, the Louvre is far more than just a museum. It's a vast, almost overwhelming archive of human achievement. Once a royal palace, today the Louvre holds over 35,000 works of art. It's the most visited museum in the world, and it's easy to see why. You could spend an entire week wandering its halls and still not see everything. Of course, most visitors make a beeline for the Mona Lisa. Behind a thick glass shield and guarded carefully, Leonardo da Vinci's most famous painting draws millions every year. But there's so much more to see here. The Venus de Milo with her missing arms, the winged victory of Samothrace, poised on the prow of a ship, the sprawling, detailed French romantic paintings in the Denon Wing. My advice? Choose a theme. Maybe focus on the Egyptian antiquities one day, and the Italian masters the next. Or wander aimlessly sometimes. The Louvre's quiet corners, away from the crowds, offer the most magical moments. Notre-Dame, a phoenix in stone. Even before the tragic fire of 2019, Notre-Dame was a symbol of resilience and beauty. Construction began in 1163, and for over 850 years, Notre-Dame watched over the island of Île de la Cité, the very birthplace of Paris. Its Gothic architecture, soaring spires, and famous gargoyles have been immortalized in art, literature, and legend. Victor Hugo's The Hunchback of Notre Dame is perhaps its most famous tribute, a novel that actually helped save the cathedral from destruction in the 19th century. Today, restoration efforts continue. You can still walk around its magnificent exterior, marvel at the details, and feel the gravity of centuries of history pressed into every stone. When it reopens fully, climbing to the towers will once again offer one of the most breathtaking views in all of Paris. Montmartre and Sacré-Cœur, the bohemian spirit of Paris. High on a hill in northern Paris sits Montmartre, a village within a city, where artists, writers, and dreamers have gathered for generations. Once home to Picasso, Renoir, and Toulouse-Lautrec, Montmartre still hums with creative energy. You'll find painters setting up their easels at Place du Tertre, tiny cafes tucked into narrow lanes, and the ever-present hum of music in the air. At the very top stands the gleaming white Sacré-Cœur Basilica, looking down like a guardian over the city. Step inside the basilica to feel the hush of devotion, or sit on the steps outside and watch one of Paris's most stunning sunsets. The view stretches all the way to the Eiffel Tower. On clear evenings, the perfect moment to breathe it all in. The Seine River, a living ribbon through Paris. Paris wouldn't be Paris without the Seine. This winding river isn't just a body of water. It's a living, breathing part of the city's soul. Walking along the Seine, you'll pass old booksellers with green stalls, called bouquinistes, selling vintage posters, secondhand novels, and curious trinkets. You'll cross historic bridges like Pont Neuf and Pont Alexandre III, each with their own stories. For a truly unforgettable experience, take a Seine River cruise at twilight. Watch as the monuments light up one by one. Notre-Dame, the Louvre, the Eiffel Tower glittering in the distance. The city, reflected in the gentle ripples of the water, feels almost dreamlike. Luxembourg Gardens, Paris's backyard. If Paris ever feels overwhelming, the Luxembourg Gardens offer a soothing escape. Commissioned in 1612 by Queen Marie de Medici, the gardens are a formal but welcoming space, perfect for a lazy afternoon. Watch children sail tiny wooden boats across the Grand Basin. Sit with the locals under the shade of chestnut trees. Visit the beautiful Medici fountain, hidden among lush greenery. In the Luxembourg Gardens, time slows down. And you'll remember that Paris is a city best savored slowly, not rushed. Musée d'Orsay, a palace of Impressionism. Just across the river from the Louvre, the Musée d'Orsay feels more intimate, yet no less grand. Housed in a stunning Beaux-Arts train station, the museum focuses on art from 1848 to 1914. A golden age that gave the world Monet, Renoir, Van Gogh, and Degas. Standing in front of Monet's Water Lilies or Van Gogh's Starry Night over the Rhone, you don't just see the art, you feel it. Don't miss the museum's giant clock windows upstairs, offering a beautiful view back across the Seine. Sainte-Chapelle, a symphony of light. Hidden on the Ile de la Cité, Sainte-Chapelle is one of Paris's most jaw-dropping surprises. Built in the 13th century by King Louis IX, this Gothic chapel is renowned for its 15 enormous stained glass windows, each telling a biblical story in vivid color. When sunlight streams through the glass, the entire chapel glows in a kaleidoscope of blues, reds, and golds, like standing inside a jewel box. It's smaller than Notre-Dame, quieter, and arguably more magical. Champs-Élysées and Arc de Triomphe, the Grande Promenade. Stretching from the Place de la Concorde to the Arc de Triomphe, the Champs-Élysées is one of the most famous avenues in the world. Walk beneath the towering plane trees, browse the boutiques, or stop at a cafe for a coffee and a spot of people watching. The Arc de Triomphe, standing at the western end, was commissioned by Napoleon to honor the French armies. Climbing its 284 steps rewards you with a commanding view straight down the Grand Avenue. Lamare, timeless charm. Finally, we end our journey in Lamare, a neighborhood where medieval Paris still lingers. Winding alleyways, hidden courtyards, vibrant cafes, Jewish bakeries, and world-class art galleries make Lamare endlessly fascinating. Stroll through the Place des Vosges, Paris's oldest planned square. Explore the Picasso Museum or the Carnavalet Museum of Paris history. Or simply lose yourself in the rhythm of the streets, where every turn reveals another hidden gem. And there you have it, 10 unforgettable places that capture the heart and soul of Paris. Of course, Paris is more than just these landmarks. It's the whispered conversations at a cafe, the smell of fresh bread drifting from a boulangerie, the feeling of getting lost down a cobblestone lane. No matter how many times you visit, Paris always has another secret to share. Which place are you most excited to see? Until next time, bon voyage and au revoir.